In level 1, we will be finding the slope of a line. We've done this before, so this is review, but it's very important, so it's good to review this. We're going to be using the slope formula where we subtract the y's on the top, subtract the x's on the bottom. Okay, one thing that will be different is we're going to be doing these in function notation. So when you see something like f of 5 equals 7, that's the same as the point 5 comma 7. 5 is the x, 7 is the y. The point negative 2, 11 in function notation would be f of negative 2 equals 11. So just another way to write it. In the second example, given the linear function f of x, where f of 2 equals 3 and f of negative 4 equals 5, find the slope of f of x. First, I think it's helpful to write our 2 points in point form the way we're used to. So f of 2 equals 3 is the same as the point 2 comma 3. F of negative 4 equals 5 is negative 4 comma 5. So that's my two xy pairs, my x1, y1, my x2, y2. Now to review, using the slope formula, on the top we subtract the y's. So I'm going to start with my second y and then subtract my first y. So 5 minus 3. And then on the bottom I subtract the x's. And since I started with the second point for y, I need to start with the second point for x. So I do negative 4 minus 2. And 5 minus 3 is 2. Negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. That reduces to negative 1/3, and that's my slope. Now in this next example, we are given the slope, and we have 2 points, but we're missing a coordinate of one of the points. So g of 2 equals 5 is the point 2, 5. G of x equals 9 is the point x comma 9, and x is what I'm going to be finding. And this time I know my slope is going to be 2/3. So what we're going to do is set up an equation using the slope formula. So this is still my x1, y1, my x2, y2, and I plug it into the slope formula the way I did before. So I subtract the y's on the top, 9 minus 5 on the top, and on the bottom I would get x minus 2. And I know that the slope is supposed to equal 2/3, so I set it equal to 2/3, and now I have an equation I can solve. First, I could simplify the top of this left side, and 9 minus 5 is 4 over x minus 2 equals 2/3. And now to solve this equation, I can cross multiply. Whenever you have two equal fractions in an equation, you can multiply the diagonal parts together and set them equal. So first I would do 4 times 3 on one side, and then I put my equal sign. And then I multiply my other diagonal parts, 2 times the quantity x minus 2, which needs to be in parentheses. And 4 times 3 is 12. And I would distribute that 2 and get 2x minus 4. And now I just have to solve for x. So I add 4 to both sides. We get 16 equals 2x, and then I divide by 2. And we get 8 equals x. So that would be my answer. And to check to make sure my answer works, I can go back to the slope formula and plug 8 in and make sure it works. So if I do 9 minus 5 over 8 minus 2, I get 4 over 6, which does reduce to 2/3, so it worked.